end of a night of political change. A person dead following an incident outside PQ headquarters. Welcome to CTV News Direct. I'm Brad Giffen. Well, it was a shocking end of the night for PQ leader Pauline Marois and her supporters. Moments before completing her victory speech, police entered the Parti Québécois headquarters after shots were fired outside the venue. 2 people shot. One of those people, we have learned, died. Just as PQ leader Pauline Marois was finishing her speech, you'll see here she was whisked off stage by her bodyguards. Now, that move left people in the audience obviously confused about what had just happened. Outside, dozens of police and emergency officers rushed to the scene. A suspect was arrested. 2 people were injured by gunfire. We are learning that one of those people has died. CTV Montreal Bureau Chief Geneviève Boschman is following developments. Geneviève, what more can you tell us about this?
Well, you know, it was a really dramatic moment. At one point, Pauline Marois was finishing up her speech talking about sovereignty, and then the next moment there were those security guards, those Quebec Police Force officers who just whisked her off the stage. There was this moment then where everybody was kind of looking at each other, wondering just what had just happened there. And then people came onto the stage and said that the building had to be evacuated, that there had been an incident. What we now know is that there was a shooting, that someone went into the Metropolis, the place where PQ headquarters was tonight, and at that moment 2 people were shot. We're now told that one of those people has died, and then the other person is also still in hospital. There was also fire that was set. As that person, as the suspect, exited the building, he also apparently set a fire there. Now police are still investigating the incident. What happened inside the room at that moment is that Pauline Marois told people, well, just wait a minute, and then people came back in the room, they listened, she finished her speech, thanking her supporters, and then she was taken away from the building very fast. Police had been putting up police tape inside the building, declaring it a crime scene. Everybody who was still inside at the time was asked to leave the building immediately. Now, it has been a very dramatic night for the Parti Québécois. There was a lot of cheers in that room earlier in the evening when the government was announced that it would be a PQ government at last, what a lot of the supporters there had been hoping for. But there was also a bit of concern when there was a minority government that was announced. A lot of people had been hoping for a majority. That is what Pauline Marois had been asking of her supporters in the last few days of the campaign, saying that if she didn't get that majority, that her hands would be tied to a certain degree, that it could even be a bit of a step back for sovereignty. And so there is concern about that. But of course, for Pauline Marois herself, this is the big prize. She has held almost every ministerial post in past PQ governments. She has been working for this, she says, for 30 years, and so now the first woman premier of Quebec, and what she does with that post, she says she will extend a hand to the Anglos in the community here in Montreal. She said no one in Quebec who is an Anglophone should be concerned, their rights will be respected. She also sent a message to the rest of Canada, though, saying that she will demand more powers for Quebec. She will ask that to have control over the issues that affect Quebecers.
The CTV Montreal Bureau Chief Geneviève Boschman, thanks very much for this.